Hey guys, so this is Matt and you're watching UK Tactical just for you. So we're going to do a 24-hour session on the river, and I'll show you a couple of bits that I'm going to use. Basically the way that we're rigged up, so we're using our normal DNA fluoros. I'm using the orange, these are Fruit Delicious, and I'm presented like this. Now you might be able to see I've got a little bit of tungsten in the middle, so I've got a clip weight, a little bit of tungsten. Now, I've used different tungstens over the time, and I'm using this Go 25 blend tungsten. So 25 grams actually, this is, but it's blend tungsten putty in the green. It's actually really good, and it's from Angling Direct, so it is £10 for 25 grams. So it is quite expensive stuff, but the difference between other putties is that they stay soft. So you buy one of Teamy or whatever, you'll find it stays soft. It doesn't go very rigid. You want it to go rigid, you want it to hold in place. Another thing that I do like to do, I don't make it into a ball. You can see I actually make it into like a rock shape. It's an odd shape altogether. But I've got two of these DNAs centered on a wide gauge size 8. I've got a bit of rig tubing on there. I've got a separate piece there so I can adjust obviously the position of the bait, so I can have it right against it or can have it off the back of a one. I tend to sit it just like that, and that will basically sit from my feeder basically like this. It's a little way away, and there should be bait all around this area. Once the feeder hits the water and you've got it into position, this should essentially just sat straight over the bait. But yes, that's how we're presented. We've got 2 rods out, so we'll see how we go. Like, worth mentioning that it is extremely weedy where we are, and I have actually dug out a channel so we can land the fish perfectly fine. But it's not an easy place to fish by any means.
Okay.
Yes. Look at the size of this one. Oh, get out of the way. Right.
I've recorded it.
Oh shit. Are you recording?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
It was just easier to record.
Oh. Right, try and get him.
You know the size of him.
Size of that. Christ, now that's a proper bream.
Jesus Christ.
Right,
it's humongous.
Yeah. There we go. That's the ones we've been looking for. So it's 11:45 and we just had that big old bream out. So just rebaited up, doing exactly the same thing as we did before. There's still a bit of activity out there, so we'll just see how it goes, see what the night brings us. So we're just getting settled down for the night now, and we've got baited up, we've got the alarms on, and fingers crossed, but you'll soon see. Okay, so we had a pretty eventful night. It shut it down, but my alarm went off and I had a backdrop, and so I went to investigate, tighten up my line a little bit, and it was just tightening, and in the end, I picked it up, and the whole of my rig has just come off, and it looked like something had chewed my rig off, essentially taking everything, and I had no idea why it was secure in the first place, but I am running braid, so what I've done this morning, I decided to take off like 20 yards on each one, just about how far I push out, about 20 yards, and put on some, like, just basically use fresh line, so get rid of that old stuff. I mean, I've used it a couple of times, but I didn't expect it to break right, but I thought better be safe than sorry. We didn't have anything other than the big one that you've just seen, but we're gonna stay a bit longer. It's like 7 AM and it's already mad busy, but I've rebaited. Something I didn't mention yesterday as well is I'm using a running rig, or a helicopter rig, you might know it as, but when you're working in like weedy conditions, these PVA nuggets are a godsend. So dead simple. You can use half that if you want, but I'm going to use the whole thing. Simple fact is, it ain't going to come off. Covers my hook nicely, and it's nice and secure. So these are fresh hook baits, but I've plugged them in a bit of strawberry as well. So they've been sitting overnight in some strawberry, so it's all fresh, everything's fresh. And yeah, we'll see how we get on. Depending on the action, we might stay another night, I'm not too sure. But I've got loads of bait out there, so you're probably wondering if I'm using like feeder rods or whatever, why I ain't got a cage on. There's loads of bait out there, so I'm just flying some single hook baits out there, and hopefully we get something nice. So yeah, it's been an eventful 24 hours, to be fair. I mean, not quite 24 hours. Got a cormorant in the water now, so she's diving, which, you know, she's going to scare the fish up and stuff. But along with battling the elements, it was raining all night. I mean, we must have about 6 inches more water in the river, which is good, you know, because we needed that rain. So I'm all for a bit of rain. The only downside of a bit of rain is, you know, especially with a downpour like that, is that anything that's been sprayed or used on the roads or chemicals, you know, it all gets washed into the rivers, and that can also slow things down. So we had that decent bream, which I'm really pleased with. So we had the bream, you know, we tried a few things. I'm starting to try and stick more to a single bait per session now, because previously I've kind of like, you know, I'll keep trying different things every few hours, maybe, or every other night. But I'm going to try and stick to one bait and give it a proper workover each time. That way I think I'm giving every bait a fair opportunity on a venue. So specifically this venue, which is part of the river. I've been successful in the past, and I am trying to get the river carp out, and that's what I'm really after. Like, obviously I like catching the bream, and I'm trying to get some tench, you know. Like, I've had all the bream, I've had quite a few bream, I've had tench out here, I've had carp out here, but this season I've had nothing but bream, along with all the small fry on the old maggot, which I was doing for a bit of fun. But yeah, I mean, that's all I'm gonna say is, yeah, basically just try and give a bait a decent workover. Try and prepare it, present it in different ways. Maybe with different, like maybe with a pellet bag, or maybe with a feeder with some ground bait. Maybe popped up, you know, with a topper. You can do whatever, but it's not always the bait. It can be the conditions, you know. About 50% of it, 60% of it's location. If the location's good, and then you've got your stock, your decent stock, which is in the location, the rest of it's down to you. It's all about your presentation, your hook, and your bait. So, I mean, you can't really go wrong if you've got the fundamentals right. So anyway guys, thanks for watching. That's it from me. Just been a single night on the River Nene. So do me a favour, like and subscribe, and God bless.